Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Phenomenon LEP Frequency Toolbox program. I am your host, Dr. Phenomenon, and today we are going to learn how to work with energy to create the future that you want to face by placing another addition to your toolbox, the connection consciousness in detail. Now, from the previous segments, you already know that the connection consciousness is one of the means through which you can vibrate in or exist in to create the future that you want to face. It is not only the means, but it is the highest frequency level that can be attained really in human form in this environment. The LEP Frequency Tool includes 4 consciousness fields. If you have missed any of the programs and are unfamiliar with the LEP Frequency Tool, please, I encourage you, go back and review the material. With each segment, we are building and adding another piece, another tool to our own frequency box so that we can create the future that we want to face using energy. So please review the past segments so that you can get caught up as to where we are. So today we are working within the means category, and really the connection consciousness is the focus. But I would like to review the other consciousness areas just for, just a brief refresher. So as I mentioned, the LEP Frequency Tool includes 4 consciousness fields: the lack and survival, which is the lowest frequency level, the dedication consciousness, which is the mid-range, and the absorption consciousness, which is the high energy, and the connection consciousness, which is the peak frequency and the topic of today's segment. The lowest and densest consciousness level on the earth plane is the lack and survival consciousness, which includes the cause and effect mentality. It's the victim, I'm the victim paradigm, not understanding that you do create your own reality by your own personal vibrations and the signals that you are sending into the universe. And once you learn how to send higher signals, better and higher experiences will come to you when you will shift in frequencies from the lack and survival to dedication, absorption, until you reach the ultimate connection consciousness. Okay, so the lack and survival is the lowest. The dedication is the next. It's a moderate energy field. The dedication consciousness operates within the mental and emotional field aspects, and it controls the thoughts, images, and feelings from the highest perspective, allowing not only greater mental but emotional maturity. In terms of how you react to situations, you'll be responding. So the dedication consciousness includes complete control of the thoughts, images, and feelings. And in that vibration, you are absolutely in control of that, because once you can control thoughts, images, and feelings, because thoughts transform to images, images activate feelings, and of course, feelings activate our physical aspects. Okay, that is what motivates us to do or not to do something. That activates our spiritual frequency, our confidence, and the level of faith we have in a higher consciousness and in a higher source. All of this is necessary to be in the belief system when you are creating something. So in the dedication consciousness, that is already where you have moved out of the lack and survival, the lowest densest energies, and moved into the dedication consciousness, where you can control your thoughts, images, and feelings. And then, of course, you move into the absorption consciousness, which includes powerful energies of contemplation, intention, elimination, insulation. So being proficient with the energies of thoughts, images, and feelings in the dedication consciousness before you shift into the absorption consciousness, greatly increases the speed of manifestations, because now you can contemplate and intend from a higher level, from a higher energy. And if it's from a higher energy, that means it attracts higher energies to you due to the law of attraction, the law of vibration, and the law of polarity. You attract that to you, because like attracts like. So if you are now creating and manifesting from a higher vibration, you are going to receive that desire, because now it's coming from a higher vibration and at a speedier rate. That's really what the difference is in terms of really dedication and really using the energies there, opposed to the absorption consciousness, where you can really create and contemplate and intend, with very powerful energies. So once you master the contemplation, installation, and elimination of how to eliminate discord from your life and insulate yourself against disturbances and outer influences that are discordant, you have moved on into the connection consciousness, which is the topic of today's program. So in order to have reached here, I congratulate you, because that means you have already have gone through the very low energies of lack and survival, the dedication, absorption, and now welcome to the connection consciousness, which is the peak, absolutely peak energy, which provides opportunity to live permanently in an expanded consciousness state of the source, where you are creating and making decisions from your highest potential without falling and causing the waste of accumulated power. In other words, you won't be decreasing your vibrational frequency, because you won't be going backwards. You won't slide. You're fully going to embrace and live in that frequency. Because once you have fully connected to the connection consciousness, which is the closest frequency you can achieve in this embodiment, you have shifted your vibration really from the faith of the lower frequencies to knowing, which is the highest frequency you can attain. And knowing has turned into living your reality, as you envision it, because now you understand how to use the powers of contemplation and intention for constructive use, and be able to create any thought form that's constructive in your mind and bring it forth into a physical reality. And in the connection consciousness, you will be able to do that, because you will now understand how to fully use that energy of thoughts, images, and feelings, and align them with physical effort and opportunities, which the universe will immediately provide for you. It's almost like a trigger reaction. You have reached that frequency, so now that attraction or that vibration is coming back to you in the guise of whatever your desire was. So you are fully connected to the source consciousness, and you have fully shifted from faith to knowing. You are now expecting great things, only good to come to you. So let's look at the individual vibrations within the connection consciousness, and it's the same laws that apply to every other consciousness, whether it's lack and survival or dedication, absorption. Within the connection consciousness, you are working with mental, emotional, physical, sensory, and spiritual energies. The mental frequency in the connection consciousness is of high energies that have been transmuted from faith into knowing, and really that's really the peak reality, because you are no longer questioning. Now you have the power to be able to create anything that you want, any constructive desire, because your thoughts, in a connection consciousness, you become more relaxed. It's almost you're cloaked in your own mental knowing that you cannot fail. Thoughts and images in the mind are filled with vibrancy and confidence like you have never experienced before. When vibrating at the connection consciousness, you always have whatever is necessary to succeed. Even if it doesn't immediately appear as what you had envisioned, ultimately it is the best for you, because you have now intended that, and contemplate and intend that from a higher frequency. So it will come to you. Thus, whatever you want is always within your grasp, really at all times. Discords will be a thing of the past mentally. You will be able to eliminate all mental discords on sight. You now realize, in this space, that you never needed to rush anything, that everything arrives in its own perfect time. And this knowledge alone will erase all your mental anguish. That even when things that you are manifesting in your mind, if they are not coming, you are going to be rest assured that the reason they're not coming is really to your benefit. And to wait is really the better option. You may not see it right now, but ultimately you will realize that having waited was the best option for you, and it worked out the best for you. Because in the connection consciousness, you're not angry. You're not impatient. You fully have confidence in the universe and yourself and in the source that all is well. And that even if things are not well from your perspective, all is not what it seems. And really all is well. It's just the outer influences is not projecting that right now, but will very shortly once your thoughts align with your desires. So you don't need to rush anything. You understand the value of patience. And that you always had the power to create the life that you wished simply by moving into a higher vibration, to staying in that connection frequency, and always taking the higher road. You were always a step away from that. So you should congratulate yourself for, being in this space. The connection consciousness really injects people with a radiance that seems unexplained. People living in the mental connection consciousness vibrate at such high frequency that sometimes they possess almost like godlike qualities. Oh, nothing bad ever happens to these people. Well, it's because of how they're handling the outer influences that is coming into their life. They seem to have incredible luck because they're creating their incredible luck through the high frequencies that they are projecting. So in actuality, they're just vibrating at a higher frequency. They have gained the skill of the LEP Frequency Tool and can now understand how to use the mental, emotional, and physical, and sensory, and spiritual aspects of energy, and are now at this higher consciousness where all is not only possible but probable and happens. So you can manifest from thought form into physical realities very quickly. And great things are happening because they draw that energy to you because that is the energy you're putting out. The Bible tells us that human beings are made in the image of God. Well, this means that we too are creators and can manifest the life we wish to live. The source consciousness gives us free will and tools such as consciousness to be able to create our own life and the energy to do so, the energy of the mental, emotional, physical, sensory, and spiritual properties to be able to create, and other, resources such as the LEP Frequency Tool that teaches us how to use this energy so that we can reach the connection consciousness and leave the lower energies, So it's, you do have all of the tools. And once you reach the connection consciousness, the life of abundance is almost guaranteed. You have a clear mental understanding that anything that appears in your life that is upsetting, uncomfortable, unnerving, or unjust, it's just discordant energy that you must manage. And at this level, you manage it well. You really do manage it well. You have no fear taking on challenges. Because that is what you are looking at, all discordant things in life, even things that appear to be more intense, that affect you at a higher influence negatively. You will be able to overcome and get get all of the answers that you need. Because part of living in a connection consciousness is that your mental level is extremely expanded. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where problems disappear, solutions appear out of nowhere. Because you are now tapping into such great power that you did not have available to you before. But living in a higher consciousness, you have that power available to you. All you have to do is think of a problem and the answers will appear. Because now you have access to a higher energy, a higher form of mental consciousness. So, and so it's living in that mental space really is one of the biggest growths in not only how you see life, but how you utilize energy and the kind of person that you become. The growth really does become, and the growth really becomes evident in every single consciousness field. The mental consciousness field, where you are now able to think through problems and come up with solutions. The mental field turns into a higher emotional field, okay, where you are now emotionally more mature and able to handle things, and you don't take things as personally anymore. When you live in a connection consciousness, you don't get offended that easily. You give people a break because you realize that life is so hard and you are vibrating at such a higher frequency that you have sympathy and empathy for people. You don't see things in the same way anymore. You allow people to make mistakes and you approach things differently with more slowness, with caution as to how you are presenting your case, or how you are arguing your case, or how you are responding, not just so much focusing on the response. You are definitely more concerned about people, not only your opinions, but the opinions of others. And I don't mean that you're allowing them to influence you. You don't. You are of strong mind, strong emotions, that you don't allow them to influence you, yet you have sympathy and empathy where you can feel from their perspective. And that alone softens you and gives you a more of a command, because now you are controlling through positive energy instead of negative energy. So, your sensory system also, when you are looking at the physical aspect, will change. There's a present innate knowing that people in the connection consciousness have that lift them, that lift not only themselves, but their actual sensory systems. The way they see things, their sense of smell and touch are significantly heightened. They are careful to listen to all messages, through even messages from other people and themselves, and even their bodies. They are more prone to listening for signals and speaking with their bodies, being considerate of other people's feelings. And really, they're just their mental states. There are ways to achieve anything that you want from a higher perspective, because that's what's going to increase your overall vibration and grant you even more access to the power that you already have available through that connection frequency. So when you are in a connection consciousness, your mental, the logic increases, patience, emotionally, you're much more mature. You're able to come from a place of peace and balance. And very often, even your physical body may drastically change, because you are feeling better. And when you are feeling better, you look better. Thus, your overall physical appearance will change in the connection consciousness. This is why people that live in that space always shine such brilliance. And, the fact that, they just seem so light. They seem so light because they're able to vibrate at this energy where sensations just flow so easily, and the brain just forms correct perceptions, doesn't jump to conclusions, but assesses using vibrant sensory information. Reactive behavior is a thing of the past. Now you are focusing on patterns of behavior that come from a responding manner, leaving you vibrating even higher, vibrating you even higher. So just the fact that, you are so balanced on all of your mental and emotional and really spiritual levels, because spirituality also plays a role. Spirituality gives you a confidence. And that's where people in a connection consciousness have a lot of confidence. People at the connection consciousness show an incredible reverence for life. And they create from a source of well-being. They know that nothing is denied them. They are secure in that knowledge. They have that unwavering acceptance that they have limitless power to create. And they do, they do. All problems, scarcities, challenges go away at the connection consciousness. The world is almost illuminated with positiveness, and you're able to cope and just move through all of life's trials, emotionally, mentally, physically. You will always come from a sense of well-being. You will put the right energy into your physical body. You will listen to the body's messages innately. You will be in complete alliance in a connection consciousness between your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual and spiritual frequency. The mental includes all of the emotion. The mental includes all of the thoughts and images. The emotional includes all feelings. The physical and sensory includes all of the sensory, sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, the sixth sense, which is the psychic ability. Some people call it, the third eye. All of that. And listening to the body. Again, listening to the message of the body. You will be in sync with your body. You will feel better. You will radiate health and well-being. On a spiritual level, your connection will never have been higher. You will feel at one with the source, and you will feel that harmony within you. So the connection consciousness on all levels of the mental, emotional, physical, and sensory and spiritual, must be, continuously maintained. The energies must be continuously maintained in order to exist at that connection level. In the book, Only Good Comes to Me, please purchase the book if you have not already done so through www.lepeducation.com. That's www.lepeducation.com, and take the assessments and see if you are vibrating in the connection consciousness in all four of the consciousness frequencies of mental, emotional, physical, sensory, and spiritual consciousness fields. When you take the assessments, you will know for certain if you are already vibrating at that frequency level, or if you're in a lower, perhaps the high absorption consciousness level, or whether you're even in the dedication consciousness, still struggling with your thoughts, images, and feelings, and aligning them with the physical actions, or whether you're still moving in the lack and survival energies, very challenging. It's a life of continuous stress and inability to move forward with, not only with who we are as people, but what we want from this lifetime. So again, this segment was about the connection consciousness field, which is the peak frequency in the LEP Frequency Tool. And if you take the mental, emotional, physical, sensory, and spiritual assessment, you will see if that is in fact the field that you are vibrating in. And if you do, please go to the section of the book that explains the connection consciousness, and start working with that energy within that paradigm, and you will quickly even increase your expanded consciousness, even in the connection consciousness. There's great opportunity without limit to raise your power and increase not only your power but your strength and confidence. So absolutely, do review all the other segments and do purchase the book. You have to be aware of all of the processes in order to be able to work with the energy effectively to create the future that you want to face. It's all up to you. You have to create the future that you want to face, that you want to live. It is all up to you. You have everything that you need. You have yourself, you have the consciousness, you have the spirit within you, and now you have the LEP frequency tool that will guide you every step of the way. There are no more excuses. The time is now, and I hope to see you at the Connection Consciousness. Take care. Blessings. And I also hope to meet you at one of my seminars, and absolutely tune in to my YouTube channel or check me out on my website, www.lepeducation.com. Thank you so much. Blessings. May you reach the connection consciousness, and may you be able to stay and remain in that space until the end of your time here in this embodiment. Thank you. Blessings. May only good come to you.